Thanks for joining us here at noon. We do have new information from Governor Andy Beshear, who has said Kentucky-based soldiers are among those killed in the attacks in Iran. In a brief statement on X today, Beshear asked the public to pray for their families and to wrap our arms around them during this difficult time. It is our top story as we go into our Tuesday afternoon. We knew Kentucky soldiers are in the Middle East assisting in that operation against Iran. Retired Army Colonel Lance O'Brien is the former garrison commander of Fort Knox. He told us this week Fort Knox soldiers and its Department of Army civilians are deployed to the Central Command Area of Responsibility, which covers Iran and that region of the world. It's unclear if Fort Campbell soldiers are also there. O'Brien said support for them here at home will be unwavering, with the hope the Iranian people can come together and build a government that works for them.
It's my hope that the Iranian people can come together and build a institutional capacity and a governance that fits for them.
The Iranian government is trying to decide who will lead that country after the death of its supreme leader over the weekend. And overnight, the State Department sent a warning to Americans to leave more than a dozen Middle Eastern countries. You can see them right now on your screen. It's all due to the serious safety risks as Iran retaliates against many countries in the region. Now, questions growing about why the U.S. decided to strike. Iran's targeting U.S. bases and embassies in its retaliatory efforts. ABC's Christian Cordero takes us to the Middle East.
Today, smoke rises above several cities in the Middle East as the U.S. and Israel continue their offense against Iran's regime and its proxies. The American death toll is rising. The Pentagon says 6 U.S. service members have so far been killed in Iran's retaliation. Administration officials have repeatedly warned more American lives may be lost. The Trump administration has offered mixed messaging in the 4 days since the war started, first saying there was an imminent threat against the U.S. Then last night, Secretary of State Marco Rubio suggested it was Israel who perceived a threat from Iran and decided to strike its regime with or without the U.S.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties.
Democrats and several prominent Republicans aren't convinced.
It's pretty clear that we're not going to gain anything more. And how do we know that? Because no one has explained what we're there to gain.
The scale of the strikes has led to chaos for civilians across the region. This commercial airplane is seen taking off from Beirut, disappearing into the smoke as it billows over the city's skyline. The passengers on board are among the relative few who can get out. Shekinah Lee from Chicago is stuck in Dubai, where she was on vacation when the strikes began.
So being here in the Middle East, miles and miles away from my home, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm anxious, I'm scared, and I'm desperate to get home.
Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And we're taking a live look right now at the Dow Jones. Markets tumbled this morning as the Middle East conflict entered its 4th day with no signs of letting up. The Dow dropped at 1 point over 1,000 points, its worst day in nearly a year since last April, while oil briefly hit $85 a barrel. With U.S. strikes on Iran set to intensify and tanker traffic in the Persian Gulf at a standstill, investors are bracing for higher energy prices and a fresh inflation threat. In response to the situation in the Middle East, some major U.S. cities have increased security. Cities like New York City, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Philadelphia. More police patrols have been sent out looking after synagogues, mosques, and community centers, though police have not had any credible threats so far. This has inspired hope for a number of Iranians who settled here in Louisville, looking forward to a brighter future for the homeland they once left. Talking about Nilafar Safari. She was waving an Iranian flag in her living room just hours after bombs first hit Iran. She and a local business owner, Roby Archin, each moved from Iran to Louisville about 20 years ago. They said staying in that country under an oppressive regime just wasn't an option.
My mom, my sister, my nephew, my cousin, all of my family, they are over there. Hopefully they are safe, but freedom is be back for Iran.
While the immediate future is unknown, Archin and Nilafar said for the first time in decades, there is hope. The women are among a group that want to see the oldest son of the last Shah of Iran as a future leader.
Disclose, divest. We will not stop. We will not rest.
A group of University of Louisville students chanting against those strikes this week. Protesters sat outside U of L's Nucleus building off Market Street, demanding the university stop its new research partnership with the Department of War. They also want the school to divest from military action in the Middle East.
This latest partnership at this building here, where they're hosting a suite, where they advance essentially military technologies, is taking away some of the funding that could be used for the programs that we as students, faculty, and teachers really need and take advantage of.
The University of Louisville sent out a statement responding to that protest, saying the university supports its students and encourages them to share their views on important issues. Free expression of diverse thought and opinion is essential to the promotion of critical thinking and inquiry. WHAS11 will, of course, continue following the joint attacks on Iran this week. You can download the WHAS11 app for free from your smartphone's app store. It is 12:16 here on your Tuesday. It's been a wet start to the day. Seeing it start to what seems, Matthew, clear out of our area.
Yeah, it'll actually be clearing out for the rest of the today, that is. So yeah, finally seeing some dry conditions that we can welcome in for this afternoon and the evening hours. So may even see some peaks of sunshine at times as well. But yeah, a lot of those showers we saw this morning during your commute out of the area. Right in here in Louisville, a few spotty showers in Henryville still and out into Bedford. But outside of that, yeah, we're still seeing some cloudy conditions, but really, we really are starting to warm up as well. Give you a look at the last 3 hours as far as rainfall goes. Really hadn't seen much, just 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch in most spots across the Louisville Metro and into southern Indiana. Widen the picture out to show you it is just going to be a rain train over the next several days as we continue to see these systems roll through, bringing us brief rain showers throughout the next several days. Looking at outside right now, current temperatures really starting to warm up. You can tell where that warm front is as well, as we really start to see those temperatures warm up into the 60s. Already into Louisville, 54 degrees. Just about 30 minutes ago, it was actually into the upper 40s. So we're really starting to warm up for this afternoon. And across the state, you got Paducah at 69 degrees, Bowling Green at 64, E-Town at 59, Louisville at 54, and Lexington at 53 degrees. Overall, give you a look at that hourly planner. We'll see temperatures still into the upper 60s after this afternoon. Really some much warmer conditions than what we saw yesterday. And that hometown forecast, won't even see temperatures drop off too much. We'll be into the mid 50s. And as you look at those weather headlines, still mostly cloudy for today. Some showers and a few storms roll in for your Wednesday and Thursday, but also that'll be the same case for your Friday and it's Saturday with some storms possibly on the way for us as we go towards the end of this week. I'll be timing out those rest of those rain chances coming up in just a few minutes. Back over to you, Brooke.
Matthew, thank you. A third person has died following the mass shooting in Austin, Texas Sunday. We're told a 30-year-old man was taken off life support on Monday. 2 others, a 19 and a 21-year-old, also died in that attack. All patrons at a local beer garden. More than a dozen others were injured. The suspect shot dead by police was a naturalized citizen from Senegal who was wearing a Property of Allah sweatshirt. Police are looking into possible terrorism ties to that attack, but say he appeared to have acted alone. A man died following a shooting in West Louisville's Portland neighborhood. LMPD said they responded to a shot spotter run around 1:20 this morning near 29th and Rowan, the same block as the Westonia playground. A man died from his injuries before EMS could get him to the hospital. If you have any information about that shooting, you're asked to share it through the LMPD's anonymous tip line at 574 LMPD.